Thanks for staying with us. So today's hot topic is a very serious matter. It's a story that happened in Lagos. A woman by the name of Anita Ofili was arrested by the police for allegedly killing Glory Okon in her apartment at Greenville Estate, Ajah area of Lagos State. She disclosed that she had to take a 10-year revenge on her friend who took her boyfriend at the time. And now this raises the question of friendship, forgiveness, and bitterness. So we always have situations where people do things to us and we think that time will heal. You know, time heals all things, they tell us. But this person, unfortunately, 10 years was not enough time for her to heal because she and the person were apart for the 10 years where she was hurt. But then in the last 2 or 3 weeks, they reconnected and they became friends again. Unfortunately, Glory was thinking, oh, my long-lost friend is back, and got close to Miss Ofili. Unfortunately, that led to her death. Our conversation, therefore, is, do we trust friendships? How do we manage friendships that have gone sour? How do we keep people at arm's length, but yet still be civil? How do we, yes, you and I are not friends, but are there ways we can still have the civility, or can I control people's behavior towards me? That's a conversation on friendship that's gone sour. What are your thoughts on this? You can call us on the numbers on your screen, 081-270-536-870, 913907694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweets. BC, you want to start?
Hey.
On this matter of friendship.
I honestly don't know what to say.
It's a painful story. This woman died after 10 years.
Yes, after 10 years. So I'm sure in her mind, she would have thought that she's forgiven me. We've moved on.
Yes.
We've reconciled. You know, everything is all good. But like they always say, the heart is not open to direct apprehension by the observer. Even the scripture says, the heart of man is desperately wicked. Who can know it? This is just an example of, it's not everything you see that is the way it is. Most things are not exactly how it seems. And this is one thing I know that makes people say, you see, I don't have power for friendships because I can't tell at what point you will turn against me. And people try to put up walls to sort of protect themselves. What I would say here is, when you have a friend and the person is truly your friend, there are some things you shouldn't be caught doing to that person, like taking the person's boyfriend or husband, or going behind. Listen now.
Why is that such a bad crime?
Because you are a friend to that person. A friend means that we share interests, we fight for each other, we are loyal to each other. Even if, you know, I personally believe that if someone has come here to say, ask Tope out, and Tope says no, or they had a relationship and then the relationship doesn't work, and the person comes to me, personally, my own girlfriend code, I will not accept the person. Because I feel, no, even if Tope has moved on, she may still have some feelings about, so you went ahead with this person. And for the friendship that I have with her, I will not accept this person. It's my own girl code, yeah, which sort of protects me and the sort of friendship that I want to have. But I know this what they'll say, find your happiness, whatever makes you happy, blah, 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 at the detriment of another person. That's one side. Then the second side, no matter what somebody does to you, do you have to go down that revenge for 10 years? So it's a deep-rooted sickness that you need to deal with, to take your time and plan revenge for that long. You are gone. Like, you know, when they say you have sold your soul to the devil, it's deep. And this person who killed this friend may not even recover from what she has done. It's a very deep thing that we may take time to start breaking down the layers.
Let me come to you, Tope. I mean, I have actually experienced this before where a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, is married to somebody that I had dated. And it was just maybe one date or so, I think. It was 1 or 2 days.
That's not dating.
You know, that's what I'm saying. That was not date. That's a date. You go on a date, that's a date.
No. One day.
Was a
proper relationship.
No, I'm just saying, using the example that you said, that because somebody asked somebody out, I will now go there again.
That's
so
me.
the person, that's you. I'm just saying that I had a situation whereby I went on a date. From my first date, it's not happening. I already knew it's not happening. So when he tried to talk to my friend, she now asked me, Mariah, I know you guys went on a date. And I'm like,
she asked you, right?
She didn't even ask me. I think I saw her. I don't know if I can't remember. It's been a while. But the point is that I saw it, and they're married, and it didn't even, like, nothing changed because I wasn't feeling it.
So
Yes.
this situation is abnormal. It's not normal.
It's not.
People shouldn't have to nurse grievance for 10 years. It shows, like Visi would say, deep trauma.
Serious one.
Deep trauma. But you know that love and hate, like they're like two sides of
Thin
the
line.
same coin.
Yeah.
So one side, there's strong love. The other side, like, they can be strong hate. And it's important as human beings for us to find balance. Like, I don't need to be strongly in love with you, and I don't need to totally hate you. I can just be neutral towards you. But when we look at what friendship truly means, it's an affection. It is born out of affection and trust. So I don't believe I'm afraid I share BC's opinion in terms of how you cannot ask me out after asking my friend out. You don't see me before you see my friend.
Exactly.
It's a pride thing.
Yeah.
Like, why would you ask
part of
me out
it, yeah.
after you have asked my friend?
After they've
My friend
told you
said
no.
So that means I was second option or second choice as I big rich like this.
Mbaso.
So I would not have done that. Whether it's arrogance, whether it's pride, put it to one side. Then if you have not had a relationship with my friend, girl code, I will
Never.
Not do you. I will not even get close to you because I just feel like you've already been with my friend. Go and cast your seeds or something farther
Deep
from
waters.
our community, you know, because I respect my friendship and relationship. And
What if God wanted you to? God wanted him to.
let's not put
through
this God
you?
and faith inside the matter. Every
No, I'm saying
decision
now,
God has given us free will.
God will not send him to my friend
God can
first.
send that person through you.
Yes.
Because your friend that God really says this is the person she's supposed to marry. But it was you that came through you
The
first.
only corollary to that rule is in the case of death. Maybe a friend died and like a very, very good friend steps into that space and takes care of the children and marries the husband, but it's like the relation, that person, that your friend is gone and your presence would help to secure the children your friend left
They know
behind.
you already.
That's the only scenario I can accept it. But let's go to this case. A human being nursed grievance for 10 years, grudge, and then connived our way back into friendship to kill this person. That woman is not normal. That woman
Okay, let me pause you for a second. Let's start from, before we go to the point of killing. The question is, if there's somebody you had a grudge or some kind of difficulty with many years ago, should you become friends with that person? If that person comes back a few years after, should we say it's scary or maybe it's wrong, or what's what I'm looking for? You should be tread cautiously before you start a relationship with this person, or should you actually have an open mind? Say, okay, she has come back. Should I accept her 100%? Because that is what this person happened. She opened arms to take this person back.
Yeah.
Big defense like this.
No. So the thing is, it depends on the
circumstances? Or?
No. The
depth of
gravity
And the
of the offense you committed against your friend or the betrayal you committed against your friend. There are people that find forgiving simple things easier than things that they hold dear. So if, for instance, you snatch my husband, hold my husband that you know that I hold dear, and after a few years we reconnect and you want to just come back, you know, with open arms and all that, you'll be doing yourself a disservice and you will not be protecting yourself because you really don't know how I have healed. You really don't know all the things I have gone through my mind at the time. And the fact that you come back means that you will still be flaunting this, my former guy, in my face. And that could begin to unearth a lot of things that I had tried to bottle. So the gravity of the offense determines if you're going to open your arms. If you know that you have really goofed in this matter, and then you have an opportunity to reconcile, it's best for you, for your interest, and the interest of the other person to keep the relationship at arm's length. You don't come close to each other. You don't share food on the same table with each other. If you're sitting at a party and the person is sitting beside you, you leave your food and go and dance. When you come back, you're not expected to touch it. You must, for the sake of the person who you are definitely going to be flaunting the new life you stole from her, you must protect her from, you know, further going down that road again and remembering all the memories she's lost, and protect yourself. That's what I would advise. But if it's something, I insult you,
let's not even do.
I insult you,
you
do this.
Let's not even do relationship. Talk about business. Let's talk about betrayal. You
In
betray
business.
me. I have a business transaction. I opened up my business to you. You saw a big deal I want to do, and you went behind the scene and took the deal. You betrayed my trust. You never, I would, like, before, I'm very, very forgiving. BC has taught me about boundaries.
Yes.
And understanding that we don't need to be, I'm too, up until like late last year, when I collected lesson from my coach, I would always feel like, forgive and move on. Everybody could change. I inherently believe that human beings can change.
Yeah, if
you
they want to.
You might have betrayed me and you totally repent and become a different person. Be different with other friends. Yes, you have changed. I've forgiven. I will always forgive. I'll always preach forgiveness. But bringing you back into my life and exposing you
That's too
to
much.
myself in that level, it would take a whole lot. It would take that we've had really long-term history together, that I know that your betrayal was just maybe greed,
phase,
1 minute greed. I can overlook it, but it would mean that we have long-term history for me to forgive. I will forgive and expect that we would keep our boundaries, the friendship from afar.
Talking about this friendship issue where people try to reconcile with their old friends, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I've heard stories where friends who you've not spoken to for 20 years, something bad happened, you come together, you are able to iron it out. Now, a lot of times we find here that we don't find closure. So when there's an issue, people just think, oh, because she's back, we can be friends, everything, just sweep it under the carpet. Maybe it's time for us to encourage each other to start talking about problems. Don't assume things are over. Let's begin to reconcile, because many people just feel like, I beg, it was 10 years ago.
Moved on.
So should we say time really heals? Or we're saying time doesn't really heal until you have a conversation on the matter?
So it depends on what closure you're looking for. There are some people that you may never get that closure. They're not wired that way to have that conversation with you. And when they move on, they move on. And you must recognize that this relationship has come to an end. There's no need over flogging a dead horse. If it's time for us to move on, there are people in your life who come for a reason and a season. The problem is we try to carry everybody along for all seasons. Some people are not wired to go the long haul with you. Some people are there to just push you and stop halfway. You must use your intuition to recognize which relationship is wired to go with you all the way. There are some friendships that you even outgrow. As you are moving up in your career and all that, you see that they are beginning to drop off, and then you are trying so much to, pull them to your side because you want to be a good friend. You are carrying on dead weight. We must know when to lose the dead weight. So in this scenario that you just painted, it's very important that we begin to have deep conversations. I have a friend that the slightest goof I goof, we will sit down, we'll have lunch, then we will break it down. This is how you said it, I did not like it. This is how you said it, I did not like it. This is how you did it, I did not like it. At the end of the day, we realize that it's just misinterpretation of the information, and we are clear, we hug, it's a freeing conversation, because I know that I can be myself. If I goof, she'll call me out. If she goofs, I will call her out. Those are the sort of friendships that we need to have, and it starts building that trust and connection. And in that kind of relationship, it's difficult to take another person's boyfriend or go behind and do something to another person's business, because you people are open, you are vulnerable to each other. So if anything is coming from the outside, maybe, sometimes somebody wants to come and poach you. Let's take, for instance, talk about selling land, and somebody comes to meet me and say, oh yeah, I know the place she gets the best deals for her land. I want you to get into this business. I will connect you to her people and all of that. Because of the relationship that I have with her, I will call her and tell her, this and this is what this person told me. Do you know this person? And all of that. Because you have started with openness in that relationship. So where your relationship, and ask yourself, how open am I to this person? Can I take feedback? Can I give feedback? Can we resolve our differences without harboring it in for a long time? And is it okay to let this person go now? Has this person outlived their purpose in my life? We must know when to exit.
Let me also add to that story. This happened to me really recently. I've always done real estate. I don't do agriculture. My friends do agriculture. And
let me pause you for a second.
Okay.
Bumi's been holding for a while. Good morning, Bumi. I'm sorry. Keeping you. Bumi, you're live. It's a bit low. I can't hear you. Hello, Bumi.
Is she talking?
I can hear her talk, but it's pretty low. I can't hear you.
It's low.
Go ahead.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in first-time caller.
Welcome.
And thank you so much for all the things that you are doing. I really appreciate that. This topic, I'm a first-time caller from Ibadan. And what I want to say is this, and that is, you meet your friend after 10 years. The first thing that you have to be very, very careful, because you don't even know where he or she is coming from. And it also boils down to the issue of secondary school mates, primary school mates, university. You don't even know. You thought maybe, I knew her before, I knew him before for a long time. How much more involving in this kind of what happened, snatching your husband, and eventually 10 years, you felt no problem, maybe she's back. Myself and my husband used to say this: you have to be very careful when you meet your old-time friend. I've met friends that are 30 years. We come back together. I just watch. I realize, oh no, the person has not changed. So I feel that maybe the thing is that we have to be very careful anytime we meet our old-time person. Anytime, not even the issue of snatching of husband or wife or whatever, but we have to be very, very careful. And I think I buy to the idea of both Sope and BC this morning. And
thank you.
I pray that God will just deliver us from all this kind of evil. Thank you so much.
I think the prayer should be God should give us wisdom, because I'm a very, very open book. I like is the over-openness of over-sharing that puts me into trouble in most cases. And I feel like if I'm in a community, I feel I don't have secret. Like, I have a friend, like, well, 3 of us. Yeah, Mr. cannot tell me something and say, I should not tell Olamide. Don't even tell me. It's because I will say it. Within the 3 of us, there is no inner caucus secrets that I expect should exist. I've always done real estate as per, at least for the past 2 years. I've done land. But I now wanted to do agriculture. It was going to be yam, but I still called my friends to say, babes, I'm going to be doing agriculture. I'm planting yams. This is why I'm doing it. So that it's not like this person is encroaching into our zone. I know they will not think that way, but it's just appropriate for trust that they will not see a flyer outside. And even the flyer was ready. Before post, I just said, I've not informed these people. So that it will not be a social media flyer that will now inform them that I'm now doing something within agri space. I told them ahead. It's about respect. It's about wisdom. It's about the fact that if you value this friendship, you will respect the people. You will honor them. You would, and if there are issues, like BC said, I don't deal with issues the way she and her friend breaks down issues. I just feel like I would excuse, my own template is I will create a narrative, a story around the issue, giving them benefit of the doubt so that I have peace within myself and let them go.
As we wrap up on this conversation, the part I want us to clarify. So are we saying, because I mean, what I would like to put out there is that, does time really heal? Because when, for example, you have a situation whereby maybe you and your mother abandoned you for years, and now you're grown up, you have your own family, and all the negative energy you grew up with, yes, affected you somewhat, but you're able to just scale through and then have a good family. And people just say, just forgive and move on. I say, yeah, okay, at least you're fine. And you're like, well, I'm still hurt. So do we still have to engage to clear issues, or does time really heal where you just have to move on?
I don't think time heals. It was something they would say because over time you begin to just forget and make light of the situation. Over time, you are now seeing from hindsight, and you're now seeing the blessings from all those struggles. But it doesn't mean that it has healed the pain and the trauma you got from that interaction. So time doesn't really heal. Time only sort of, covers it up. Yes. So for you to have that connection again, there are conversations you must have. You must bring up the conversation. So I usually use myself as an example. The first time, I finally met my mom, and she came, and we didn't have conversations. We just moved on. But as I was growing older, I realized that some of the hurts were still being unearthed. From every interaction, I was still going back to the trauma. I didn't even know. In my head, I'm like, okay, we've moved on, everything is good. But I know that in my reactions, some things will come out. And when I think deep, I'm still hurting. Till we finally had a proper conversation. And I initiated that conversation because I needed to outrightly heal all of the wounds. So sometimes when we say, let's move on, you are sweeping it under the carpet. It will come back tomorrow to haunt you if you do not break down the situation.
So someone like that girl that died, at some point, yes, maybe you ended up with this person. Yeah. At some point, you need to call that girl. Let's have a conversation about it.
Do you even know that if you had x-rayed that conversation, outcome, you may have found out that she really did not even snatch this guy.
Yeah, they're
it's
different
very
scenarios.
possible that the guy saw her first, liked her, but she didn't answer and went to this person and finally came back. You don't know till you have a conversation. And when you have that conversation, you will now see from that person's perspective why they did what they did. Conversation is very important.
Call. Ochuko, thanks for calling from Worry. You're live. Good morning, Ochuko. Are you there?
I'm still here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Morning, madam.
Morning.
Go ahead.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
We have a lot of you today.
I'm like one of your greatest fans. I love your view. I love your show. I love your ideas. I love the fact that you are all women impacting our generation. I just want to say big kudos, big thumbs up to all of you. On the program, on the issue right now, I believe relationships are for times and seasons. Sometimes we carry them over beyond their season, beyond their time, beyond their relevance. And when we do that, it brings problems. Where a relationship has done its required or is a necessary impact and has expired, we should move on. It's good to say, oh, I've forgiven this person, but we are human beings. The hurt may still be there. You think it has gone. Okay, 10 years ago, it's been so long. She has forgotten about it. I've forgiven her. She has forgiven me. Let's carry on as before. It doesn't always work that way. Right. We are still in the flesh. We are human beings. The devil can come into anybody at any time and use you to do whatever it wants. So because of that, we have to be careful. Right. If this person has forgiven you, this person wants to reenact the old relationship, be careful.
Right. Thank you very much, Ochuko.
Yes,
thank you so much. So I think we're going to wrap up. And I think the point I was trying to get out of this conversation is that no matter what happens, there's still your business, there's still your family, there's still your children, there's still your love, whatever it is that somebody has done to hurt you. And even though you've moved on, it's always good to go back to that matter and have a conversation.
Yeah, proper conversation.
Thrash it once and for all. Because if you don't, the bitterness grows. Yeah. And anybody can, this one killed. And that one can do something to destroy your business in future. Yes. Can have an opportunity. Oh, is it that girl? My uncle is the person that she's trying to go and see. Go there and spoil the opportunity for you. So there are different things you can do. But it's always important to thrash it, ask for forgiveness, make sure you've cleared the air. Because when you do that, no matter where you meet that person in future, at least you know that you're civil. Yeah. That's what I've always tried to do when I had relationships in the past where things go awry. I actually make extra effort.
You do.
I know.
I know that.
To try to see the person, to have a conversation, to tell them why I did it, hear their own part, and apologize.
I always feel like it's not necessary, but
I'm
learning
necessary.
that it's important.
Keep your hands clean. It's very necessary.
No matter what happens in future, at least you know that there's a civilized relationship between you. That's all we can take on that topic.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.